Okay, everybody. I'm going to be reacting to Omizi. Please subscribe to him. He is Omizi right here. But I wanted to kind of talk about what's been lately going on when it comes to the Tate. I feel like Andrew Tate may have bit off way more than he could chew, and it's gonna get much, much worse.
Boy, are they loud as hell. For years at this point, Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate have been popping their gums and flapping those lips on the internet about all of the fantastical lifestyles that they've been living, all the money that they're making, and more specifically, the ways that they were going about doing these things. Basically, they were only able to get away with this stuff by doing criminal activities to women on the internet, and because they were in different...
Yeah. See, this was their getup. Okay, so for those of you that don't know Andrew Tate is this personality. Okay, he is a American British man. Him and his brother Tristan. I believe they have a sister who's an attorney that lives here in the U.S. I think somewhere back east, Virginia, whatever. Anyway, the Tate brothers became known because of their come up with webcam girl, whatever. That's now caught up to him. Okay, so, and he became basically one of the main figures of the manosphere or the red pill. So it was him, Fresh and Fit. There was Clavicular. I don't really know those others. I just know Fresh and Fit. It was the Tate brothers, and they've been just running around with their, I guess, talking points, and they amassed their wealth with having women, just come and be cam girls, and they would get money and off of that. So yeah, pretty much.
From places and spaces, legality was never in the same room as them. But things seem to be catching up. Charges that include rape and bodily harm are now looking at Andrew and Tristan Tate right in the face as they are being cuffed in Miami. And in 2026, if that whole red pill lifestyle wasn't already looking doom and gloom for a lot of its content creators, I think this seals the deal for any of the people still hanging on for dear life. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's going to go a long, long way for the channel. Back, baby. We back, baby. We at 180. 200's crazy, but it's right there. Now, back into the video. 59 total charges. 42 between Andrew and 17 between Tristan. Charges including multiple counts of rape, traffic, multiple instances of assault which led to actual bodily harm, offenses related to indecent images of babies, and extreme pornography. This isn't just some random arrest that happened in Miami because...
This is really serious charges. When you have 59 charges concerning the, A to the S and all this kinds of stuff, it just gets to a point where you're at the road of no return, because it's not like, oh, they were looking at sharing 30 photos of women and stuff. I mean, these guys, man, they did so much stuff, and to think that they had gotten away with it for so long, I mean, it's just mind-blowing.
They were partying too hard. This has been a long-standing situation that has been piling up and piling up and piling up. And since more charges have been added to the situation, it seems as though the governments and powers that be seem to be done with the Tate brothers. Now, of course, this is all alleged still, and of course, this all has to be proven in court. But the reason the story is following Andrew Tate so closely is because the allegations are colliding with an online persona that he has built over the past few years.
And I only get away with that because the girl of 6 years plays along. So Vivian's been with me 6 years. She's completely head over heels in love with me. She wants kids with me. When I bring on new girls, I usually pair them with Vivian. Because Vivian's younger. Melissa's 28. Vivian's 21. Vivian's 21. The girl of 6 years plays along. Vivian's 21. Of 6 years plays along.
Yeah, it's never looked good for Andrew Tate.
Now, you see how these guys was talking so much? He's just yapping and yapping and yapping. He don't even realize that when you give the age and stuff like that, people can do the math and know, okay, well, this person was a kid. Okay, and 15 is very young, and then you're saying, oh, this person was with you for 6 years and this person is now 21. I mean, this Andrew just talk himself into jail, talk himself out of jail, then go right back into jail again. It's crazy.
I know the way that a lot of the people on the internet like to paint Andrew Tate as some sort of macho alpha male that's just helping them come up out of their turtle shell is not a real and accurate depiction of who he is. He didn't just build his brand over some sort of controversial opinions that he's had. He's openly presented this influence and manipulation and control as proof that he understands women better than anybody else. Now, of course, we're going to continue to show clips throughout the—
Well, here's the thing. He doesn't understand women because women do not like being trafficked. Women do not like being tricked. Women do not like being pimped. Women do not like being led to, like the lover boy method that he was talking about, led to believe that there's a relationship and then you turn it into a pimp whole situation. If he understood women, and this is the thing, that the thing with the manosphere is the lies. A lot of these young men were following these deranged guys and some others without like realizing like, oh, these people don't know anything about women at all, and leading them to a lifestyle that is like obviously self-destructive, because right now where the Tate brothers are at is just tremendous. Nobody really saw that coming. Well, we all kind of saw, but not in this way, because he kept clinging to government officials, people of higher power, and that's why they felt comfortable coming to the US, because it's like, yeah, I can get away from the UK. We can, and then plus the administration, helped negotiate their release from Romanian detention, and they're just on a high. It's just crazy.
Video, and by no means am I saying that these clips are proof of anything. I'll let you be the one to determine that thing. Tate has repeatedly described younger women as more desirable because they had less experience and are easier to influence. He never frames these relationships as some sort of equal partnership and somebody that you can, maybe you have a little bit more experience that you can mold and all these other things. No, he never frames it that way. He's always framing these conversations as some sort of control, like he's in charge of all these situations. He's the ones making the decisions, the right from the wrong, left from the right, etc., etc. The worst part about all of these things is that these aren't caught as some like off-guard conversations that he's having with the bros. He can't even put this as some sort of locker room talk. No, these are the things that have helped him promote his top G persona for the past couple of years. And if I'm not mistaken, some of these conversations that will most likely be used in court are from his courses where he's teaching other young men and even older men how to be in charge of these relationships, how to be the alpha male, how to be top.
Okay, so yeah, he had something called the War Room, where I think you would pay like a subscription. And so everybody would be paying this subscription, and then he'd have like these courses, and it was all the rage. Like every young guy was just out there talking about the War Room. Oh my God. Whew. To think he had that, and he made a bulk of money from that too. So besides using the women, he had that War Room thing with the subscriptions, teaching them how to drop ship and something strange like that, how to make money and work out and get girls.
Just like he is.
19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I can put my imprint on her.
I created a system that allowed me to convince girls to do this, allowed me to retain 100% control of their income, allowed me to make sure they were effective, because it's a super competitive industry. Don't think this is easy money. You're just going to put a girl on the camera and they're going to get rich straight away. No, it's very competitive and it's very difficult. I learned every tip and trick it takes to make sure a girl gets paid. I know how to make sure the girl can't run away.
And now all of these statements from this persona.
See, he talks so much. He's saying he knows how to get the girl to stay, to not make her run away and all this. Lord, he literally, these are the videos that they have that they can, all these allegations, because that's where they are right now, all these allegations, which I don't know if he can beat. He's literally saying he can get them. He knows how to keep them. He can prevent them from running away. One of the videos he was saying, Andrew Tate was talking about, like, he can like go to their hometown and spread a rumor so that, the girl can't run away and go home, because then, she'd have problems with her support base. Like, they're giving this man thought that he was covered. The way he was talking like this, just It's mind-boggling.
That he has built over the past, it just felt like a lifetime with Andrew Tate, to be quite honest with you, are now being used in serious allegations connected to all these different women all across Europe. But this is where I really think it gets tricky for Andrew Tate, because this obsession with control was not just limited to any sort of dating scenario. Tate also presented manipulation as a part of the way that he goes about making money.
I have to f her so she obeys me. I don't give a shit about having sex with beautiful women. I f them so they listen to me, so I can get what I actually want, which is not them. To means to an end. Every single Bond girl was exploited. That's exactly what I do. When I watch a Bond film and I see him basically pimp a bitch, to me that speaks to my heart. I've been there. I've done that. Anyone who's followed me long enough.
This guy really forgot who he is. But anyway, my lord.
Knows that I first made my $1 million with a webcam business.
We got to remember that part of Tate's enterprise is not because he's just this top G selling these courses to these men, or that he's some sort of crypto tycoon. Essentially, he made a business where he got young women to do webcam activities, and he himself monetized and profited off of the webcam activities that they were doing. Sort of like a manager, or if there's a more deceitful, disgusting, and nauseating word for that YouTube won't allow me to use. I think you kind of get the gist. Tate is openly described publicly building some sort of relationship with these women so that he could gain their trust and so that they would follow his every instruction. And for what it's worth, he's always presented this sort of manipulation as intelligence rather than something disturbing for what it really is. But I think when you get in front of a jury of your peers, they will be able to see through all of that in no time. We've been doing it for the past couple years on YouTube. It should be pretty clear as to what's going on here.
This is disgusting. It's disgusting. The few fools at DCOM who just came along and told us that the mothers of our children are somehow transmitted. I know you're really clearly. If you transmitted someone, there is evidence. You know, all 30 of those girls, 30 of them, have statements in our defense. 30 saying we've done absolutely nothing wrong. 2 more are the mothers of our children, and 2 more have never even been to Romania.
Now, these clips don't 100% say that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are 100% the people that they say they are.
He's talking too much. Like everywhere, he's just talking too much. And then Tristan be following him too. Tristan just following everything that his older brother does. And word on the street, allegedly, Tristan is worse than Andrew because, he's always trying to impress his brother. So, he be out doing things. That's word on the street, allegedly.
Right? Maybe it was just some sort of kiki ha-ha persona for the algorithm of it all. But ultimately, the current allegations don't feel completely disconnected when you put all the pieces together. This whole brand identity that Andrew Tate has built over the past couple of years has been connected to always being in control, always being one step ahead. And for the most part, it's always been about manipulation of women. Whether it be for the guys who are trying to be better on dates, get the better advantage in modern dating, or if it's for him and his quote-unquote criminal enterprise to ultimately land millions of dollars so he could live out his fancy dreams in Romania. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, why is it just now that Andrew Tate is getting caught up in all of these situations with the police and facing real serious jail time? Why hasn't it been before? For the most part, he's been a big figure, right? He's always had some sort of protection, even from the highest office in the land. The Tate brothers aren't dumb by any stretch of the means. They've always been able to be as flexible as possible when it comes to protecting their name, image, likeness, and ultimately avoiding jail time. They've bounced from country to country, place to place, talking on different platforms to different platforms. So they
See, he linked up with Trump because he felt that, with the United States president being in their circle and with, he basically is like, I brought all the young men to vote for President Trump. And initially, the Trump administration has assisted them in negotiating the deal for him to get out of Romania in lieu of court, whatever. But anyway, they don't have to be in detention over there and come back to the U.S. Of course, Ron DeSantis, who was the Florida governor at the time, because when they returned to the United States, they returned to Florida. And the governor of Florida did not care for the Tates being there. And he started like, we don't want you guys around. And so they quickly left Florida and went to some other state. But the thing is he linked up with the administration for protection, and he felt like This is clad proof. I probably have to never go back to the UK. I don't even know why he didn't stay in Dubai. I'm surprised that he came back to the US, because I thought, there was problems in the US. They went to Europe, and then there's problems in Europe. So, and of course, he doesn't want to go to the UK. But I was kind of surprised that he did not just stay in Dubai, because nobody in Dubai was bothering him, no authorities. But he came back to the US, and I'm just like, anyway, he thought that by linking with government officials, he was going to be protected.
They can avoid incriminating themselves or getting stuck in the mud in a way that they can't get out. And most recently, they've been praising the Trump family to the highest extent.
And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward to, once I am free, being with Donald Trump in person and reminding him that he's a bulletproof badass.
Now, this isn't a political channel, but it's probably due to the fact that the Trump family has been able to protect a lot of their friends and families from, landing themselves in some sort of legal trouble. So with that context in mind, Tate's legal team has been trying to frame this as some sort of attack on him and his brand by the British government, and that this whole case was politically motivated.
You've often said that the process is the punishment. American citizens, in order for your freedom to be deprived, you have to be convicted in a court of law. There are certain exceptions. The extradition proceedings is one of them. So the enemies of Andrew and Tristan Tate know this, and they are doing what they have always done, and they are weaponizing the court process and weaponizing the tension against them in order to get them to break.
So this created the stage where there's this expectation that some of the powers at be on the United States side of things, i.e. the Trump family, some of the senators, some of the politicians, were going to protect Andrew Tate when it came to him being ousted as somebody who has all of these nasty things going on about him. This is where I think that the ego truly steps in to think that, hey, just because I glaze a little bit.
See, like I said, the way he's talking, the way Andrew is talking, and I agree with the creator here. He talked like he has it down, that he's untouchable, like God is standing behind him. He's not going anywhere. He was on he was talking with Candace Owens and saying, yeah, this is ridiculous how the Matrix is coming after him. You know what? Come and get me. Come and get me. Come and arrest me. I dare you. I've never been convicted. Like this guy, insane way that he was doing. And he was just bright because you know what? He thought it was so sure. He thought, look, the United States president got my back. They secured us from out of there. They're going to stand by us. But he don't know. He don't know who that president is.
On social media means that I'm going to have some sort of protection. But it's funny because he's finding out in real time that these people don't want anything to do with him, that they're not going to be protecting him from any sorts of criminal charges that they face in different countries.
Extraditions, I don't know the details of this particular case. I've been overseas, but I know who you're talking about. I just don't know the details of. These cases have a process that they go through in the courts. My understanding is that they're involved in that judicial process. And so that'll play itself out at this point. And there's no role for us to play at this moment or maybe ever in that regard.
Just because you are friendly with people who are around the president doesn't mean that you have the same liberties as.
But the thing is, they all trying to backtrack and put him on the block list. He's that weird friend that you initially helped, and then you realize, oh my God, the friend is even more weird. And so everybody put him on block. Because number one, frankly, these people are like America first, Palm first. And the Tate brothers, they don't really have much respect for them like that. So when all this thing is blowing up, they've already been like, the administration has already been like accused of just like, you guys support all these kinds of shady people. And because of that guy on that island and, that had all these different, young people going there on that island, I'm just speaking in code, you're associated with that. So them now being synonymous or people, bringing them up with Tate and Trump and Barron. Barron loves Tate. Like they're trying to break that association right now because now that this is getting bad, they don't want to help him not to stop his extradition. Why? You heard Marco Rubio. He had nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that. They're worried about their political career. Okay, this is Trump's second term, but Vance absolutely don't want to have anything to do with that. Rubio does not want that on his name. Like they're all like backing away. They're not answering their phone calls. Whew, and he's crashing out in the jail. Yeah, he's crashing out in this jail.
as the president and his family doesn't mean that you have control over the American legal system. Trump can't simply erase criminal charges filed for you in Britain. And he potentially could stop the extradition and all this other stuff. But this is a situation where I think that he bit off a little bit more than he could chew, especially because he's been so boisterous and animated about the disgusting and nasty things that he's done over the past couple of years. And it's kind of like, come on, you're making the block too hot. If we was trying to be covert about this, you being overt about this is not protecting us in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Trump has refused to block Tate's extradition into the United Kingdom. Look at all the twerking and the absolute double-handed slurping that the Tate brothers did for Trump over the past several years. Even after the Iran war, they refused to criticize Trump whenever it came up. Even during the situation I brought.
By the way, Sneeko and Andrew Tate used to be good friends. They used to be good friends, y'all. They used to be good buddies. They fell out after that whole, they were all in the club with him, Sneeko, Andrew and Tristan, and Fresh and Fit, Clavicular, and some other Manosphere guys. They were all in the club and they were playing Kanye West's Otzi song, like that song that they banned everywhere. And that fallout, like the backlash, they started fighting against each other. Andrew's like, I don't know, Sneeko is that weird guy. Sneeko is blah, 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 blah. All this is it. So they bust, okay? That friendship is done. Now you're seeing Sneeko like all like trashing Tate because of his arrest and everything. Like, yeah, I mean, everybody's just separating from the Tate brothers right now. It's like an end of this kind of crazy era of arrogance and somehow escaping the Matrix or whatever they were. He can't escape from this because it's too much. He did it too loud, and they should have known. You see how there's so many videos that you will come across where the Tate brothers are explaining in detail how they do everything and talking about all that. Like, that's too much. I don't think they meant to bring them back to the United States for them to be talking. Pretty much he could even talk about their methods and what they said to the Romanian authorities to get them out. And it's just like, I don't think they meant for this to be splashed everywhere and boisterous and making all this noise. They kind of wanted to do things in secret, but because, Andrew won't shut his mouth, it's like, dang, everybody has him on the block list, to be honest.
I brought up on stream how Trump is owned by the and they didn't even want to say anything. They just froze up. The reason that the Tates never criticized Trump is because deep down, they were really hoping that Trump would go and save them if they got arrested and if they were called to be extradited to the United Kingdom.
And so while he may be buddy, he first name basis with somebody like Donald Trump's son, where they can play iMessage games, that does not mean those connections are helping him prevent being arrested in Miami. And so now Mr. Untouchable is being touched up crazy style for the nonsense that he spewed over the past few years on the internet, seemingly being backed and corroborated by people in real life. The moral of the story is that Andrew Tate over the past couple of years have been telling people that consequences are just for the ordinary people. He could say the most provocative things about women, brag about the manipulation, challenge authorities without any sort of investigation. And if it came, he would just turn that into some sort of content after all.
To be honest, Andrew thought that he was untouchable. He's bigger than the program. Nobody can get to him. I'm going to get a sparkling water. I can just talk to so-and-so. I'll be a mob boss here. Nobody can touch me here. I can just sign this here. You just do this here. He was doing too much. And he was taunting the United Kingdom government too much as well. He was taunting. You don't have accusations against you, and then you're taunting a government who's been watching your every move. I mean, he really thought that he had it in the bag. That is just, this is just insane to me.
For years, that strategy worked. It brought money, it brought views, it brought influence, it brought millions of supporters who believed every accusation around him was proof that the system feared him. But ultimately, that same plan and strategy that was working is the same plan and strategy that was backfiring against him. I can almost 100% believe that they will use the online evidence over the past couple of years as a way to say that he did these things, as he faces, him and his brother, a combined 59 charges. And I think that's the funniest thing about the whole digital footprint conversation is that at some point that life that you do live is going to catch back up to you. And now we're seeing in real time that these people are even willing to use the things that you said on the internet against you in a court of law, like actual law.
He's literally handing the British government all the evidence that they would need to convict him. I mean, the allegations, like the details of how, when, why, and how, and what the plan is. And y'all, Andrew Tate was even detailing their yacht that they are currently, at the time of their arrest, that they were building. This man just talks so much. Building the yacht. So he was saying that on one of his recent streams before his arrest about the yacht that him and his brother's building. So you know the British government is putting two and two together. Like, look, these people, we want them in our court. They've been dodging us, and now they're building a yacht to get away. Now, that would be the perfect plan now. They won't be able to get him. But because he spoke so much, they're like, let's get this arrest on and popping. He's going to land in Miami and get him right now. And that's how he got.
For what it's worth, these two have been quiet for a long time, and the red pill community has been dying since they've kind of popped out of the mainstream. But ultimately, with them two facing real deal jail time and the 100% entire persona looking to be a facade, I don't think that we should see or hear or talk about or any of those things about the red pill community for a long time. If these guys end up in jail, it will signify the death of the red pill community, because it will mean that the actual biggest names and faces of the community are either dead or are in prison, and their lives were faked. They built this persona off of non-truths. Ultimately, those people that believed in it will have to really take a hard look at themselves and say, wow, I followed clowns for years.
Yeah, so they really have to get things going also, because like the women, I mean, this was part of the fall as well, as women were talking about the message that the manosphere was leading young boys to. And a lot of times, you know, the governments and all these politicians, they are also talking about the birth rate and family life and family values. And then you got this manosphere that's like this rogue animal that nobody can control. So it's like they have to jail these guys because they need the young men to see, you know, be more family oriented, right? And this Andrew Tate, all he's doing is talking about making money from webcam, girls, driving Bugattis. What he say? Bugattis or Bugattis, whatever his British accent. So like he had the manosphere in a chokehold, as well as some other guys, right? So like this message was spreading wide. The women were becoming more disgusted, particularly white women. Well, all women were disgusted, okay? But by and large, he was not pushing the message. And on top of that, he was too loud. He was too loud. Like just all over the place, play by play, saying everything, doing everything. I mean, he talked about his getaway yacht and all this stuff. Like there was just, anyways, guys, until then, we'll see you next video. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, do you think that Andrew Tate kind of served him and his brother up to the British government on a platter? Because it's crazy. It's crazy.